Hello, and welcome back to the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast. My name is Michael Crosa with Chattanooga Podcast Studios. I'm sitting here with the Elaine Zambos, Director of BNI Southeast Tennessee. How's it going?
Thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
Of course, likewise. What are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about making money, profit first.
Great. Well, that's what we're here for.
Yes.
This episode of the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast is sponsored by Heather Hendrickson, owner of the Hendrickson Agency, an insurance agency properly protecting your most precious possessions. Heather believes in people over policies, so a good referral for Heather would be somebody who wants the personal touch and care that only her office can provide. You can find the Hendrickson Agency on Facebook, Instagram, or their website and phone number are in the show notes below. Okay, Elaine, tell me all about profiting first.
So profit first, right? Profit first. So when we think about money, and as a business owner, you're looking at the money as just your home.
Show me the money.
Exactly. Your home. Your home is a business, right? You're running that as the Crosa Enterprises because there's money that has to come in, go out, right? And usually the amount of money that goes into the savings account is what's left over every month, right?
Yeah.
If there is any.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what goes in, right? Yeah. And it never seems like you can get ahead because there's never anything left over.
Yeah.
Right? And so how do we make more money? It's you either make more money, but if you make more money, what happens?
Spend more money.
You spend more money. You spend what you make.
Yeah.
So it's just a never-ending cycle that we spend however much money we make, right? So if you think about if like one of the easiest ways to lose weight, use a smaller plate, right? Then that's what people tell you all the time. If you want to lose weight, get a smaller plate because you're not going to put as much food on a small plate as you do a big plate, right? Or if you think about your toothpaste, like when you're, it's like your toothpaste, like when it gets down to the end, like you keep squeezing it and squeezing it and squeeze. And
you can make a little bit work.
There's so much more toothpaste than you realize in that tube.
Yeah.
Money's the same way.
Okay.
So I'm not saying you can squeeze your toothpaste and $5 bills are going to fall out, but I will.
Not my toothpaste. Yeah. But I see what you mean. Like, like if you think your budget is tight, or if you treat it as if the budget is, tight, then you're going to treat it
right.
More conservatively or sparingly. And
And so in the book, Profit First, he says, pay yourself first.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah. Pay yourself first. So 2 times a month on the 10th and the 25th. Is my
friend. Why those? Yeah.
That's just the way. I don't know why he picks those days. You have to read the book.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, you know what? He told me to do it. That's one of those controlling things, like, right? But anyway, so you look at the money, right? And maybe most people get paid twice a month. I don't know. If you get paid once a month, I don't know. Sure, yeah. It depends, like on your money. You do it the way you do on your money. But okay, so you look at it and you're like, okay, in a business, for instance, right? You got to pay taxes, right? You got all kinds of expenses, right? Or in your household, you got utility bills, you got mortgage, you've got, gas, groceries, right? All the things. So when you're sitting down with your monthly budget every month, look at the amount of money you have and then automatically take a percentage of that and put it into an account that's not easy to get to. So maybe you go to another bank and open up another bank account or something that's not like easy. Really do it. Really
putting it.
And so, and maybe you start off and it's only, 2%.
Sure.
Right? Like it's just 2%.
You get in the habit.
Twice a month, you put 2% and you just forget about it. And you put it, and that's my profit account. That's my money.
Yeah.
Right? And you're saving it up. And then you pay the mortgage. And you divide out the money. And you will find that over time that you will be able to start adding more money to that profit account. Now you might go from 2% to 3% to 5%. Don't start off big, but you want to put money into those accounts that's not easy to get to go, oh yeah, we can do that, and then you just take the money. No, You want to make sure that it's not
That
visible.
it's out of the way.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. And so I started doing this years ago, and I've always had a car payment, right? I always had a car payment, and I did this, and I would put money in a separate account at a separate bank, and I really just kind of like just did this direct deposit into it, and kind of just like I'm not thinking about that. And I really needed to get a new car because my car was 12 years old, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want a car, and I didn't have a car payment because I'd had that car so long. I had enough money to buy a car.
Wow.
Yes. And so you'll be surprised at how fast it will add up if you do that.
Yeah.
So
how cool.
Yeah. And so in business, like for me, for instance, in business, I have a profit account. I have a tax account. We pay royalties. I have a royalties account.
Okay.
And then we have to renew. We have a renewal account. And then whatever money's left over, that's the amount of money I have to run the business. So it's just...
That's smart. The gears are turning.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic. I highly recommend reading the book Profit First. It will totally change how you think about money and how you treat money.
Cool.
It is. It really is. Like the 10th and 25th of the month are like my two favorite days.
Cool.
Yeah, because then you're like, okay, where... And the other thing is, it keeps you in touch with where you are financially.
Yeah, having set points to check in, to look at all that stuff, to really go over it. Mm-hmm. That's smart.
And it gives you a different relationship with money.
Yeah.
Because when I was a young girl, my grandmother had the envelope system. Have you heard of the envelope system?
Yes.
That's what she had. So she had these envelopes that had, this was the money we took to the grocery.
Cash.
Yeah,
right.
that we took to the grocery store. Or the actual money that we pulled out to put gas in the car.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the same type of thing. If you want to put it in an envelope, just make it somewhere where it's not easy to get to.
That's smart. And on that idea of the envelope system, I have this sort of like, it's not really a conspiracy theory, but it's sort of that level of like, I think that my generation, especially and younger, like money, like I've never gotten paid in anything other than direct deposit. And I feel like that there's something psychological that like kind of reduces the tangible way that I've ever treated money. Even if it's been paid, even if somebody receives a check, you have something literally in your hand, right? Like I've never had that. Like I've never been paid.
Yeah, Dave Ramsey has a system very much like the envelope system, but he says have the cash.
Like get
because let's say that we leave here and we go out to, I'm a sucker for REI, love REI, right? But if I go into REI and I'm like, ooh, I like that, and I could take that on my next trip, and you just go up there and you swipe the card, right? And you get the stuff and you leave. But it's different if you get the stuff and you have to hand them the cash.
Right.
And you got to physically give somebody something to get it.
There's emotional impact. Yeah.
Right. And so you spend differently when you do that. So I think there might be something about that. I never thought about that, Michael.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you in honor of Be the Change Youth Initiative, a BNI member nonprofit empowering youth and reducing suicide rates by engaging them in community transformation. A good referral for Be the Change Youth Initiative would be businesses or community organizations who are passionate about involvement and engaging younger generations. You can find out more by going to BeTheChangeYI.com, which is linked in the show notes below. Okay, that's topic for another episode or something like that down the line. But on that note, this has been a great episode of BNI Southeast Tennessee Podcast. Thank you so much, Elaine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Be sure to tell your chapters about the show, rate, review, like, subscribe, do all the things and stuff. That really helps us grow. 5 stars. Yes, rate 5 stars. Elaine, I'm a new dad, and I hear you've got a dad joke for me.
I do. Why did the pony ask for a glass of water?
I don't know.
Okay. Because he was a little horse.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week on the BNI Southeast Tennessee Podcast.